So I tried to turn Deltarune into a Pokemon Nuzlocke. The results were interesting, to say the least. So I've been itching to play some Deltarune again for a while. I ended up finding a cool Pokemon mod for Chapter 1, which tries to add Pokemon and Nuzlocke mechanics to the game as best as it can. If you've been on the internet for a while, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But for those who don't know, Nuzlocks are basically just a set of self-imposed rules during a game of Pokemon meant to make the game harder and more interesting. The basic 3 golden rules in a nutshell of any Nuzlocke are basically catching only 1 Pokemon per area, permadeath if a Pokemon dies, and having to nickname a Pokemon so you get more attached to them. You could remove and bend some rules here and there, it's all really flexible. At the end of the day, it's all just self-imposed rules for a children's game, so it doesn't really matter. So here we go, me trying to play Deltarune like Pokemon while the game deteriorates around me because it wasn't made to be played like this. Let's see how terribly it went. Gosh, frickin'. So I wake up in the role of Chris that the universe decided to stuff me into, and I find that I'm late to school. Oh joy. I make my way downstairs where my mom was waiting in the car for me, but only after stopping to go mess with the toilet. So after doing that, I get in the car and my mom drives me to school. She pats me on the head and gives me a hug, and then I go off to my class. Unfortunately, I have the physical embodiment of the nerd emoji for a teacher.
What? What am I watching on my phone? It's schoolwork. Animated schoolwork. Hey, Chris, have you picked a partner yet?
I've seen your search history. But I go to pick a partner anyway. Unfortunately, the class is odd-numbered, meaning that everyone has already paired up with at least one other person. And Tammy paired up with an egg. So, fortunately, the last person missing, the school bully, barges in at that very moment.
Am I late?
No, you're fine. We were just picking partners for our next group project, and, Susie, you're with Chris.
Great.
Alphys, grow a backbone!
So Susie just stands there in the doorway, intimidating everybody with her Batgirl JoJo energy for a few seconds. Alphys is being dumb again as usual and doesn't realize that she didn't have any chalk when trying to start class, and she makes Susie go get him. And also me, because I was forcefully assigned to be her partner, and also because I was late. Why me?
Because Susie's known to get in trouble, Chris.
Then maybe instead of sending her, you should go get the chalk yourself then! Dang. So on our way to go help a grown adult get some chalk, we end up in a massive void of a closet.
Well, here's the closet. Too bad. We're just starting to have some fun. Chris? Is it me, or is it really dark in there? What's the holdup, Chris? You gonna go in or what? Fine. If you're gonna be a wimp...
We both decided to go in at the same time.
See? Why are you so scared? There's nothing in here but old papers. Let's try to find a light switch. That's weird. Can't find a switch. I guess it's further in. It's kinda big for a closet, huh? You'd think we'd reach the end by now. Who needs a closet this big? You know what, Chris? I think we've worked hard enough. If Alphys wants that chalk so bad, the weeb can get it herself. Also, if his closet is broken, it doesn't have any walls.
Yeah, it doesn't have any floors either.
What?
I wake up after that huge fall, which I probably should have died from, and find that I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. This place was more barren than my channel back in early 2022, which don't even ask me how that's possible, but it is. I save my game and I go on my way. I managed to catch up and find Susie, who's hiding out in, dust? I think? The game never actually explains or tells you what these are as far as I can tell, and we never visit this area ever again, so I have no idea.
Hey, Chris, there's someone up there waving at us. Any idea what they want? What the? Run, Chris!
We appear to go down a giant waterfall of what appears to be oil or ink or whatever. Again, we don't ever revisit this part of the Dark World, so I don't know what this is and probably never will. We manage to make our escape and manage to head over to the abandoned castle town. We meet Ralsei there, the prince with no subjects, who admittedly doesn't really do much in this Nuzlocke because he never makes it onto my team. And then Lancer, the shadow dude who tried ambushing me and Susie earlier, gets into the room and basically runs Ralsei over.
Oh, one nerd down and 2 more to go. My dad's gonna make me son of the month for this.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the bad guy.
The bad guy? So, the point is, you wanna fight us?
Correctamundo.
Alright, kid. Now you're telling me something I can understand.
I get to pick my initial party member, who's effectively my starter Pokemon. I pick Susie since she's already here. We start the first part of the game, which is with Lancer, and can we just appreciate how good of a track Root Buster is, especially for a basic enemy theme. But anyway, we fight Lancer, and I guess I got more rusty at this game than I thought, because I almost immediately got Susie killed and lost the Nuzlocke. Thankfully, we somehow managed to scrape by, and Lancer felt bad for us because he saw how pathetic we were, so he decided to leave. After the battle, Susie ditches me and leaves me with Ralsei, except she didn't, because there she is right there. Now this is unfortunately where we have to drop the whole narrative thing. Because Susie is now essentially my starter Pokemon, that means that any plot point where Susie is away from the party does not make any sense, which is basically the entirety of Chapter 1. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, I try to fight the dummy to try and hone my skills again, because clearly, I need it, and Ralsei gives me a Master Ball, and then immediately forcing me to waste it on the dummy, which I can't even use. Where did it go? I don't know. It's one of the biggest mysteries that's probably gonna haunt me for the rest of my days of playing Deltarune, alongside the what are those weird dust things and what are those weird waterfall things back in the previous area. We go into the Field of Hopes and Dreams where I run into a Rudin which I intend to catch, but Susie accidentally kills it. What the heck, dude? But it's okay because we managed to catch 2 more Rudins later on anyway, so I caught one and named it Ruby. Welcome to the team, Ruby.
Yeah, welcome. Now watch your friend die!
We run into Lancer again later on, with a bunch of his goons intending to thrash us. Except he only brought a bunch of Hatties, which are just a bunch of supports, so they don't actually do anything.
Ha! You call that an attack? How pathetic!
Susie, stop antagonizing these guys. This could cause terrible karma for us later.
Oh yeah? Karma my ass! As if these guys are gonna do anything. What are they gonna do? Bludgeon me with ice packs?
I managed to catch one before Susie obliterates them all and name him Harry. We now have a full party of 3. We make our way to the Great Board, where I find and catch a pond man, who I named Arthur. Despite my absolutely pathetic performance up to this point, our team hadn't faced any death, so I entered the boss fight for the Great Board, King Round, with full confidence. Maybe a little bit too much confidence, because I would get caught off guard later on in the fight, and I'd accidentally get Ruby killed. First death of the Nuzlocke, and it would be to a giant checker piece with legs. I always thought I was more of a chess person. Narrative-wise, Susie is supposed to ditch us again here, but she doesn't because continuity doesn't matter anymore because she's my Pokemon now. We go on into the forest. I catch a bunny guy who I'm never going to use and decided to name Pikachu, and also caught a Lego guy who I named Bryson. We run into a 3-headed monster named Clover, who I like to consider a small mini-boss of this section. I got curious at this point and wanted to see if I could use a Pokeball to catch these little mini-bosses. Turns out you can, so Clover, who I decided to name Rage Miner, was caught. We push on ahead and run into Oh, sorry, it's not Lancer. But regardless, we helped this sweet little boy come up with an evil plan to build a machine to thrash our own asses. I ended up building this. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm gonna call it my other half. Guys, meet Muses. More narrative stuff happens that does not matter anymore because Pokemon. And we go into the forest maze, which is not the one from the SNES, unfortunately. We go through and oh gosh, no, Muses has turned against us. Oh. Never mind.
Your design sucked, so we blew it up.
In an average point of the game, this is where you fight Susie and Lancer, trying to get Susie to join the good guys again. Except now, it just becomes Sonic Adventure 2.
I finally found you, Faker. Faker? You're not even good enough to be my fake. I'll make you eat those words.
So I managed to catch Lancer during this fight, so there goes any continuity left in the story, and we completely decimate the other Susie. Also, this happens when she joins the team again. I don't have any words to describe what's happening, just look at it. We head through the final path to the castle. We're unfortunately ambushed on our way there and get locked up. So for the second time this adventure, I wake up after blacking out. And this time, I'm not in the middle of nowhere, I'm in prison! Hooray!
Hey Chris, did you find any— Chris, what the heck are you doing? 2 minutes in jail, you've already resorted to eating moss, you weirdo. You're a real go-getter, Chris.
Hey,
Yeah.
idiot! Can you shut up? I'm trying to concentrate.
Susie, where are you?
I don't know. Prison? Seriously though? I'm out of my cell. I managed to sweet talk the warden into giving me the keys.
You did? Really? How?
I invited him to visit the trash can. Anyway, now there's a puzzle thing in the way.
Okay, solve it, Susie.
I don't do puzzles.
So I help Susie with the puzzle and she goes to help us out. And this is the part where all continuity that still happened to somehow be left is completely gone, if there was any left to begin with. So at this point in the game, this is where Susie's supposed to fight Lancer, and it's supposed to be a big moment in the story because Susie thinks Lancer's betrayed her. Big story stuff aside, this is the point when Susie finally becomes a good person and decides to join the team for good. Because she realized that Lancer wasn't actually trying to be a bad person, he was just trying to do what he thought he had to do to make sure that we didn't have to fight his dad and we didn't have to kill each other. Because in the time that the story was making absolutely no sense because of Pokemon logic, him and Susie had supposed to have formed a friendship. But the fact that breaks all logic isn't even the story, it's the fact that the game still added Susie to my party anyway. In Deltarune, the normal lineup of characters is Chris at the top, Susie in the middle, and Ralsei at the bottom. But that's not the case here, because my party going into this, because it's a Nuzlocke, is Susie at the top, Arthur in the middle, and Harry at the bottom. But I guess the game tried adding Susie into the second slot anyway, because when I got into a fight after this, I had 2 Susies. Huh. Now they won't have to take advantage of that later.
Oh no!
My whole team just got wiped, and it wasn't even to a big boss or anything. It was just to a bunch of Hathies who were blue!
What did I say, Brayden? What did I say? What did I say? I thought I started.
Oh, also, I caught this Jigsaw back in the Field of Hopes and Dreams. I completely forgot about him because he didn't do anything except get my team killed. But yeah, I caught him in the Field of Hopes and Dreams, and also their name is Alphys too. The wipe really set me back and forced me to go back to my inventory and check on which Pokemon that I had, so I could reorganize. Thankfully, Harry wasn't included in the wipe, so I was able to put him back on the team, and Susie was duplicated, so she was perfectly fine. I decided to replace Arthur with Bryson, and we were off again. Oh, come on, give me a break! I had to fight King Round again, and you'd think I learned my lesson after last time, but nope, I messed up at the same attack and got somebody killed again! This time, it was Harry. I just put him back, are you serious? The rest of the fight had no issues. So I had to once again resort my team right after I'd already done so and right before the king. Please help me. Thankfully, right before the king round fight, I went back and caught myself a head Hathi, one of the ones who wiped my team last time. I decided to name it Sully.
Wait, I thought you were dead. We killed you.
My death was greatly exaggerated.
I also fortunately managed to catch myself a Rudin Ranger, and for their name, I decided on Almia. I decided to swap Bryson out for Almia because I noticed that Bryson had really low health, and Almia had Heal Prayer. And Sully obviously changed out for Harry because they're both Hathies. So this was the team I was going into the final fight with. Ironically, almost a near mirror of the original.
Father,
Lancer, my son, have you dispatched the Lightners as I commanded?
no, but I did even better. It turns out we don't actually have to fight them. They said they could talk to you and...
They're alive?
Yeah, and I think you'll like them a lot. There's Susie, and she's very purple and strong, and...
Where are they now?
Hey,
Lancer, my son.
Yes, Father?
Do you remember what I told you?
Don't get too attached?
You have failed. They have poisoned you with their sentimentality. Free yourself, Lancer. They care not for you. Their only goal is to destroy our glorious fount. They are scum.
No, they aren't.
What did you say?
whoa, hey, back off! Who do you think you are?
To my people, I am a hero. To you, I'm the bad guy.
Okay, look, listen. Normally I'd be all in for smashing your face in right now, but Lancer's my friend, so So if there's any way we can avoid this confrontation...
If I perish, so be it. Show my son the monster you really are.
Alright then, buddy. Don't say I didn't try.
How dare you come here, night nurse. You that left us in the shadows, stripped of meaning. You dare return to torment us once again? Be gone! We have found fresh purpose, for the night has appeared. The night that pulls the fountains from the earth. Holy fountains whose shadows are creating a new world. Our world. Do you see now our new purpose? Soon this world shall be blanketed in darkness, and darkness shall rule it. Then you may see what it is like to live in despair.
I'd managed to hold the team together, somehow, until eventually, Almia unfortunately died to the king. I was getting really anxious now because the only reason I survived for this long in the fight was because I was spamming Almia's heal prayer, and now that they were down, I didn't really have any other good options. Sully had a heal prayer too, but I had to wait until the TP, which is basically this game's magic points, to go up to 100%, and I couldn't wait that long with how much I was getting hit. So I cheaped out and threw a Pokeball at him. I managed to catch him, and it was all finally over. It didn't really sit right with me though after thinking about it. Did that really count as a win? Was a win really deserved if I chickened out and decided to give a cheap shot? Heck, I wiped out that one time. The only reason I got as far as I did this time is because I gave myself a second chance. Sure, I may have played by the rules by letting out the Pokemon that had died anyway, but some people play by the rules where if your team wipes, you lose, no matter how much Pokemon you have left. So did I win? Did I lose? I still don't know. I'll let you decide. For now, I'm just happy it's over with.